Considering a lot of my friends are on trips right now, I thought it would be really cool to talk about my beloved adventure hat. I wanted to talk about where I got my pins and patches and who gave them to me, and the little stories that I have that go along with them. First, just talking about where I got the hat. I got this hat with my mom one day when we just went to a Kohl's store in our area. I really liked the tie around the middle, and I really thought that I could maybe make some more and switch it out and it could be cool and a way to personalize it myself. Little did I know I was going to go a kind of overboard with the personalization. Starting off with the first patch that I ever put on the hat, it's this one that says Bavarian Inn Restaurant 2008, and it has a gnome on it. I actually got this patch when I was in Girl Scouts back in the day, and this was because we went to Frankenmuth, Michigan and went on a gnome scavenger hunt. I found it a random day later on after I got the hat and decided it was the perfect one to put right on the back. Soon after, I somehow decided that I was going to put patches on it, so I made a trip to Joann's and found these two. It is a bass fish and a strawberry. Now, my original plan was to hopefully get all these patches and hopefully be able to fit them into each other. Plus, honestly, what's a hat like this without a fish? These three are actually pins that don't match places that I've been while I had the hat. Right here by the back where the tie is, I have this Walt Disney World trading pin that I got when I was about 8 or 9 when I went to Disney. I thought I'd put it on there just because I had it and it's really cute and I didn't know where else to put it. And then here we have some Scandinavian country flags. These are from one time in band. My band teacher decided that our theme for the year was Scandinavian composers, and that is why those pins belong there. These three lovely pins right here I got for my graduation because everybody knows that if I get some pins, I'm going to put them on my hat. So these are from my friends Tierney and Kira, and they're from Mackinac Island, and I love Mackinac Island. So this one here depicts a cute little turtle, this one here is the Mackinac Bridge, and this one just says Mackinac Island, Michigan. And I really appreciate these because I have been to Mackinac Island since I've gotten the hat, but in Mackinac Island, I do not wear this hat. I strictly wear a coon hat. So I have not gotten my own pins for it, so I'm really appreciative that they got them for me, so thank you guys. And of course, next to those, I have a cute little jw.org pen I also received as a graduation gift. And this one is just obvious why I need it, because anything you have pins on, you're gonna need a jw.org pin. So this is the most unique one I have, and it's from my good friend Will. And to round out this little section, here are two pins that were given to me by my younger sister Rachel when she was on a trip. This one on the left depicts Michigan's Upper and Lower Peninsula with plaid behind it, which I love because I practically live in plaid when I adventure. And this one here says it's great to live in Michigan with the state bird, which is a robin, and the Mackinac Bridge once again. I love these pins because they were given to me by my sister, and I really do think that it is great to live in Michigan. I love my state, and I love my sister. So that rounds off this little section. I would pretty much just sum it up to say Michigan pride and I love my friends. Right above that section here is a patch that I got from the Philadelphia Zoo. I went on a trip to the Philadelphia Zoo with my band, actually on a trip just to Philadelphia that lasted about 3 days, and that will take us into my pins and patches from Philadelphia. Next up we have this beautiful patch that I got from Independence Hall in Philadelphia, and I had a wonderful trip there, as I said, with my high school concert band, and this was, I think, the first one that I got when I was in Philadelphia, and I wasn't exactly sure where to put it, so it just ended up on one of the sides, and underneath it is where the pins are. This pin and the next one I both got at Valley Forge National Historical Park. This one cracks me up because it not only has an adventure hat on it, but it decided to state that I support Valley Forge National Historical Park. I crack up every time I talk about this because I don't know if anybody opposes the fact that Valley Forge is a National Historical Park, but if they do, this is just to let people know that I do indeed support it. This pin I also got at the gift shop of Valley Forge National Park. It has a quote from George Washington that says, "Labor to keep alive in your breast that little spark of celestial life called conscience." And I really, really love this one just because it's in the button form, it's super simple, it was super cheap, and it's super profound all at the same time. Another fun memory of when I went to Philadelphia is the fact that going around all the national parks, there was a fun little scavenger hunt, and part of it was if you could find their mascot who was a buffalo. I forget his name, but if you found him and got a selfie with him, you could go back to the park ranger desk and receive a prize. So I was all over that, and I found him, took a selfie, and went and got this pin, which says Junior Park Ranger, happy 100th birthday to the National Park Service. So it's, even though it says happy birthday, and we all know I don't do birthdays, it's not about my birthday, it's pretty much just happy 100th anniversary to the National Park Services. So I do like also that it says explore, learn, and protect. Right here is a pin from the Adventure Aquarium that I received when I went to Philadelphia as well. I really do like this one because there were many options of the different animals I could get, but I had to pick the shark one because they had a ton of sharks at this aquarium, and they were so cool to see. And they even had this thing called a shark bridge where you could walk over a netted thing and sharks are swimming under you, which sounds like it might be scary, but it was not scary at all. Moving just a little bit upward from that one is this one from the Hard Rock Cafe in Philadelphia. We went to have dinner here before we went and saw the Philadelphia Orchestra, and it was the first time I've actually ever been to a Hard Rock Cafe, and I got to eat with all my senior band members, and it was a ton of fun, and it was actually right after Prince died, and so there was a ton of Prince songs playing, and that's just a random fact that you didn't even really need to know, but now you know it. And that there rounds off all of my Philadelphia pins and patches. Near my Philadelphia patches and pins, right above it actually, there is this lovely patch that I got of a whale. And yes, that is whale hunting stuff around it, which is kind of creepy, but if you knew where it was from, you'd understand it. So let me just tell you. I got this patch from my trip to Nantucket. I went there to visit my friend Susie, and my friend Tamara took me with her lovely daughter Charlotte and my sister Rachel, and we all went out to the island to go visit her and, you know, have a great time. And this was one of the first patches I found. Nantucket's known for its whaling. That's how they became an island that was booming back in the day, back when the whaling industry was big. So this is not me condoning whaling now, it's just me talking about the history of Nantucket. Funnily enough, on the top of my hat here, right where it bends and it's a little bit awkward, I have this fun patch that says Nantucket Whaling Museum. My sister and I both attended the Whaling Museum for a day of our trip, and it was actually a ton of fun. You learn a lot about how Nantucket came to be, why they even had the whaling industry, the history of it, and you get to see a ton of cool whale stuff. And you know, this one just was, I think it was actually the only one there. I mean, I don't think you can find a ton of different patches about the Whaling Museum, so I just had to have it, but it's kind of big and bulky, so it's actually right on the top of my hat on an angle, and it's one of the most awkward patches I have, but I love it nonetheless. Fun fact about this trip before I try to explain anything else is when I went here, I also went on a trip to Niagara Falls, Canada. My friend Tamara was lovely enough to allow us to go with her, and it was just amazing because we spent a night at Niagara Falls and I got to see a ton of stuff that I'd never seen before and only heard of. So back to Nantucket, this one I got in one of the many stores in the downtown area that my friend Erica showed me. I like this one because it says the ocean names and you get to see the whole shape of the island, which to me, I mean, I have a hat with this shape on it, and it almost looks like a off-brand Nike swoosh, so that's just hilarious to me. And then it also says established in 1671, which is around when the whaling thing started, and as I said, that's a big part of Nantucket's history, so I just really love this one. It's really thick, and it's really good quality, and it stays on really well. And right next to that, it's also from when I went to downtown Nantucket. This one right here says University of Nantucket, and I actually got this one with Erica as well when I bought the one next to it. And University of Nantucket isn't actually a thing. It's just a store as far as I know. I mean, it says established 1988, so I could be totally wrong. But anyway, it is definitely a store, and I got this one for free because the store owner said if I liked his Facebook page for a store that he would give it to me along with the hat that I purchased. So that's just cool because it has a lighthouse, and I went to that lighthouse on there. Of course, at the moment, I can't remember what it was called, but, you know, I've been there, and that's what counts. And as I said before, we went to Niagara Falls, Canada. So I love the maple leaf a ton for the symbol of Canada, so I had to get one with it, but I didn't want to be too patriotic of Canada, so I like that this one just says Niagara Falls, and it doesn't have the flag on it. And man, Niagara Falls was so great. It was just a nice place, and I want to go to Canada a lot more now that I've been there. It's like Michigan, and I just love that kind of area, so that was a wonderful, wonderful trip, and I cannot thank Tamara and Susie enough for having us, and it's probably the coolest trip I've ever been on so far, so probably the best trip of my life and the best trip of 2016. this last fall, my dad was super amazing, and he took us on a couple of really fun day trips, and these both are from the same day trip. So the one right here at the top says Tunnel of Trees, M119, Good Heart, Michigan, and this is up north a little bit. We took a day trip and drove because the Tunnel of Trees is like a really beautiful place, and in the fall, it's supposed to be really great, and my dad used to ride his motorcycle through it, and it's pretty much where, as you can see, there's all these trees, and they make a tunnel because, you know, they like touch at the top or whatever, and it's right near the lakes, and it's just gorgeous. And so we drove up there, and I was super surprised to find a pin in one of the side shops, and, you know, I had to get it. And, you know, the same time we were driving, we went the way that you could see Seashell City, and if anybody knows me at all, you know that I love SpongeBob, and Shell City is just the place to be in the SpongeBob movie. And I can remember passing this so many times as a kid, and my dad always was like, no, we're not going to that dumb tourist place. But somehow this day we got him to take us, and so we went to Seashell City, saw the giant clam. We each bought something, and of course I only bought the pin. So it was totally worth it in my book, living up to what my childhood self would have wanted me to do. So those were both from the same day trip. Lovely time. My dad's pretty sweet, and, you know, I have great little day trips with my family, so I'm super appreciative for that. And of course, we cannot talk about the adventure hat without mentioning the most beautiful patch I've ever seen in my entire life that my younger sister Rachel got me as a graduation gift. It is the coolest thing, and it matches perfectly with the hat's aesthetic. It matches perfectly to the panel. It's just the best patch I've ever seen in my whole life. I mean, what more can I say? That's all I want to do, is just live a life of adventure with the people I love, and I just can't get enough of it. I could cry just talking about it. For any of you wondering where you could get this patch, I never can pronounce this, so I'm just gonna let you see it. I think it's a Silda store, but anyway, it's like $7.50. It's worth every penny if you want anything from the store. They make super cool adventure patches. Hashtag non-spawn, just super love the brand. LOL, who do I think I am? But anyway, shout out to Rachel! Hopefully I can make some more cool memories this summer and, you know, surrounding seasons, because, you know, you can do things that aren't just in the summer, Lauren. You know that, right? Ha ha. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like seeing my adventure hat in all its glory. I mean, I just love this thing, and I hope everybody else knows that it's just a staple in my wardrobe, and I'm not gonna grow out of it, and, I mean, why would you, right? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video, and if you have any cool trips that you've been on, please mention them in the comments below so I know some cool places for me to go in the future to add to the hat. And yeah, that's the end of the video. I'd like to quick give a shout out to Heathen for, you know, helping me hold up this hat. And yeah, anyway, bye guys.